Hi, it's Pat Pattison with the Best of California on our beautiful trip through Northern California. I'm in Nevada City and I have the honor of interviewing the first woman sheriff here in Nevada County, Sheriff Shannan Moon, and she's going to take off her mask. We're both separating and separate, but thank you so much for this opportunity.
Oh, Pat, it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you today.
Well, and your job, when were you elected? And tell me a little bit about that process, because I know you were in the department. I know your dad comes from law enforcement. Tell me a little bit about how you got where you are.
Yeah, so I grew up here in Nevada City. My father spent 29 years in a police position here at the sheriff's office in the city of Nevada City as a police chief. Started here at the sheriff's office in 1990. So this is going on year 31 for me, which is an incredible feat in itself. Decided to run for sheriff, start a campaign in 2017. The election was in 2018, so just a couple of years ago, and was fortunate enough to win that election and was sworn in as the sheriff of Nevada County in January of 2019.
Wow. And what are your biggest challenges these days, just in terms of law enforcement overall? What are you working on?
Yeah, so challenges, clearly with 2020, we've all across the country, across California, and definitely in our region, struggling with the challenges with COVID. We're trying to do the best we can with ensuring that the community is safe. I think that's one of the biggest challenges. But overall, with public safety in Nevada County, we're pretty fortunate. This is a very safe community. So when we look at what challenges we have coming forward and when we forecast, we look at recruitment, retention, not too many people wanting to get into law enforcement. Maybe it's a little bit of...
Is that true right now? Yeah. Is it a recruitment challenge?
I think it is across the country. We're looking at reforms everywhere, and some folks, don't want to get into a position that they think might be different than what they initially thought. And I just, I try to say, it's a challenging job, extremely challenging, but incredibly rewarding to be able to really help people in potentially the worst day of their life. Whether they're a victim of crime, whether they're a suspect of crime, clearly two separate sides of the spectrum. But how can we, as law enforcement, look at what does the community expect from us, and looking at ways that we can really perform that excellent service for folks.
Well, and as a part of Best of California, we're always promoting job opportunities. You hear it, come apply right now. Jobs available. Holy cow, I had no idea. So and in terms of some of the reforms and whatnot, I would assume that works both ways, where people that might have been reluctant to get into the law enforcement have a chance to help change things.
No, absolutely. And looking at it as maybe it's not what you necessarily thought. Like, clearly I grew up in a law enforcement household, so it was, common for, I have two sisters and a brother, and none of them followed in my father's footprints. But it doesn't mean that if you see a way in which you can provide for a community and service, what an incredible way for you to be able to do that in law enforcement. I was born here. Wouldn't move anywhere for all the money in the world. I wouldn't leave this community. It's an honor of a lifetime to be the sheriff in my hometown. And within the agency in which I literally grew up in. But my family chose to come up to this area independently. There's another citizen coming through.
There you go.
My family independently chose to come to Nevada County following the timber industry.
Okay.
So my mother's side of the family is Native American.
Okay.
They're up from Plumas County. They were following the timber industry. My father's side of the family from Iowa independently came. Parents met in high school here and at the Grass Valley High School. And like I said, very fortunate to call this place home from day one.
So I was noticing the Native American painting, so that's your heritage as well.
Yeah, my heritage is from Plumas County. Okay. The local Native Americans, the Nisenan tribes, that's what Nevada City was built on. Okay. definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So it's Pat Pattison with the Best of California Award, and I'm here with Shannan Moon, who is the first woman sheriff here, and that's not all she's known for. She's famous in these here parts, and I appreciate her taking the time to talk to us. Pat Pattison with the Best of California Award. Talk to you soon.